once all this gets moved, we have, that's the
sawmill.
Yeah, there's some old hay, some dirt, some compost. These are basically our compost piles. I'm gonna probably, I don't know if I'll make char out of that or if we'll just, I have a chipper. We may just go ahead and chip all that up. Have to get that stump out of here, but all that, back to that tree is the edge of our property. But all of this got cleared out. This, you couldn't even walk back here. And right now, these, we have some decent sized logs here. I mean, these are the ones that you saw me pulling the other day. They're not small. You put your hand up there. I don't have a tape on me, but you can see they're decent sized logs. We can get a lot of lumber out of these. Even some of the, well, that one's actually not that small either. But we have a pile. Most of this was going to be firewood, but as these trees are coming down, they're just so stinking straight. I hate to waste it, and with the price of lumber right now, a lot of this right here that you see is old trees. That's stuff that was down on the property when we moved here, and we just went ahead and cut it up. What I can't use for firewood, like that rotted one right there, we'll just go ahead and cut it up into small pieces, hack it up, and throw it in the raised garden beds for hugelkultur, and that'll break down and add nutrients to the soil, and we won't have to put so much dirt in the raised beds. We do have a small wood pile started. My son and his girlfriend actually split a lot of this over the summer. They had their work closed down due to COVID, and they spent the summer here with us, and we got a tremendous amount of work done with their help. They're the ones that painted all of the fencing around the barn. They pressure washed it, stripped all the metal goat fencing off, painted it, put the metal goat fencing back up. That was a tremendous help. All these trees that you see in a row here, except for the one all the way down by the chicken coop, are all pecan trees. We also have 4 or 5 out front. I like keeping the pigs back here because these are all mulberry trees, so they get the mulberries to eat. I haven't noticed them eating the pecans or not.
There's a chestnut tree that drops in their pen.
Yeah, the chestnut tree drops right in the pen, so all those prickly balls are laying in there. I went ahead and got most of those out so that they wouldn't be stepping on them all the time. And I didn't know the chestnut tree was there. We just cleared it all out and realized that we had a chestnut tree. So we have chestnut, pecan, English walnut, black walnut. There's some black walnut trees right over here behind the trailers. That's a bunch. Neighbors had somebody come in and mulch down all their trees with one of those mulchers that are on the front of a skid steer, and I went ahead and scraped it all up and put it on piles for them. It's going to make some nice compost, nice mulch for their garden next year. And we're just collecting. Oh, that's the old CJ. It did run. I think it's got some old gas in it. The whole inside's been redone. We're going to probably, I may sell it, but we probably will go ahead and maybe use it for a farm vehicle. It's just fun to drive. Took it to work a few times. We're collecting pallets to use for whatever. We save all the lumber. There's some metal left over from a couple of the projects I did. We have 2 or 3 pieces left. The wind caught it and blew it. We'll have to pick those up. That's one water container, and then the one on the top is the half that was left over after I made the chicken brooder. We may make another one, or we may look at using some of these containers to start our worm beds. It'll give us a place to get rid of some scraps, not that we need it. We'll be able to get worm castings, worm tea. We may even be able to give people some worms, and it'll give us worms to feed the chickens. You know, they'll love them. But this is it. This is some of it. Just wanted to show you what we were doing with the pigs. Not that hard. Few T-posts. Couple. We did use the cattle panels. It just seems to be heavier. I know a lot of people are just raising these pigs on YouTube with wire, electric wire. You can see right now the electric wire is not working. It was yesterday. It's not now. So if that's the only thing holding your pigs in and you have a little issue that you're not aware of till you come down, the pigs are going to get out. So this right now is enough to hold them in. I want to get the electric hook back up because I'm not even sure if the cattle panels would hold them if they wanted to get out bad enough. I just don't want them getting up close and digging. There's no electric at the gate and they're already starting to dig a hole. They're never going to dig one deep enough that they can crawl out from under it. But we'll check on the solar charger, which is all that we're using for this. I don't have anything permanent set up. There's one of the cables that's attached. That seems to be all right. This is going to be our water catchment system when I get the rain gutter hooked up. As soon as we finish up the chicken coop, we'll hook up rain gutter and we'll go ahead and get these. I got a cover for this one to try it. We actually had that one full from one rainstorm, filled that 275 gallon tote. My son had hooked up the rain gutter temporarily and it was turning green, so we got these covers that slip over them, and supposedly that should keep the algae from growing in them. And then we used those for the pigs until it got too cold, and I went ahead and just drained them. But here's the we just use a little solar charger we got with our chicken fence. So it may just be battery. I think we need to turn it a little bit, get some more sun in there. I actually have it hooked up to the ground rod for the lightning rod on the building, but right now there's no charge, so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn that off, let that charge up a little bit. I'll check the battery later on and we'll see what happens. I mean, that's one of the benefits to actually having a physical barrier as well as a mental barrier, which is what the electric fence is. Only a physical barrier the first couple of times. Then after that, it's a mental barrier. But see, they're coming right up to it. So that mental barrier, as long as that juice isn't going in there, they lose that too. I don't know if I would raise them just on electric. A lot of people do. It seems to work for them. We have a road out here. We have neighbors. We have a lot of acreage, but who's to say if they get out, they're actually going to run this way. They may or may not. You know, if they run that way, we're good. That's all our property. But if they run into the neighbors, you know, there's houses all around us. There's a road out front. Can't imagine they would be easy to catch.
If you are new to goats, we've got two Joes that are in heat right now. Well, at least one's in heat. And it's taken me the longest time. I'm still trying to get used to it. When they're in heat, they make the most heartbreaking sounds. I know they're not in pain, but it just breaks my heart. That's just how it is when they're in heat.